Part 2 of the review video. Yeah, that king's hand I would like to put in solver to figure out exactly how to proceed, like with the sizing and such, but well, I might do that later on. It takes time to solve. So here we are, a bit deeper. What is it? 60 something blinds. Cutoff opens and I free bet from the button. And villain calls. Yeah, I remember this hand. I played it like a station with two overs and the nut flush draw. Having SPR2, I should be just raise, get it in here. And it also makes sense to do that with the sets that are all in my range as well. Yeah, so terrible hand, just raise, get it in. How much do I raise though? Yeah, like 2.5x of his bet size and never fold. Well, that one was simple. Uh, 35 plus effective defense and 4, the big blind. Yeah, I remember this one as well. Villain C bets quite large, and I don't think I think check raising here is it's not good. If I get it in, it's always against a better hand, even though I have plenty equity. So with the pocket pair and the draw, I have plenty of showdown value and the option to improve as well. So I check call. Yeah, I played this hand well. I just marked it. Yeah, versus this is probably why I marked it, because the turn size is quite large, and once I call it, I've invested like 40% of my stack in the hand, and it's something I've been having problems with, because often when I face the second barrel, I pretty much always anticipate a river shove, which is not the case. Villains actually do sometimes two barrel and give up. So yeah, I actually won this hand at showdown. Villain had the ace king of diamonds, which I think he did not play well. Let's put ourselves in villain shoes. I think his hand makes for a good check back on this board, unless he wants to free barrel to make me fold a10 or a weak jack by the river. But he should anticipate plenty of check raises from me on this board, and has showdown value with his hand. So yeah, I don't like his flop bet if he does not plan to free barrel, especially when he unlocks the spades that I'm quite likely to be drawing to. I'm not playing check call with backdoor hearts versus such a large flop size. So the way he played the hand, he should have shoved the river. But yeah, let's see how do I proceed on the flop in his shoes with ace king of diamonds. Um, at 40, almost 40 big blinds. I want to check back and go for showdown. If there was a diamond with the backdoor, I would be more happy to plan for 3 barrels. But the two bets here is, I think it's just burning money. I like the way I played hand, and I think villain made a mistake. Queen 9 at 16 big blinds in the button, and there's a 6 big blind shove from UTG1. Is this a bounty? Because if it is, it's probably just a snap call, but it's not a bounty. So let's just quickly plug it in into HRC. If this is a call, see, I've been getting into so many marginal spots recently. And if Queen 9 is not a call, let's see what is. Let's do cheap EV, paste the hand. Let's see if this guy's shoving range is about right. Oh, he's actually... how on earth is he supposed to fold low aces at 6 big blinds? Is that correct? Is he not supposed to go all in with ace 4 offsuit here? How come? That is a big surprise to me. I guess there's just so many players behind that can wake up with a better hand that he actually needs to be quite tight. Yeah, I'm surprised by this by his shoving range. I thought it's looser. Like with the 7-6, 6-5, I thought would be jams. The 9-7, 8-6, I thought would be jams. All the aces, King 9 off for sure, I thought was a jam. So I'm probably shoving something like 30% in his shoes, so should tighten up a little bit. Regardless, let's see what Nash says about my calling range. Queen 9 suited is a snap fold, Queen 10 suited as well, but Queen Jack suited and King 10 suited are solid hands. Ace 5 suited plus, Ace 9 off plus, and pocket 4s plus. So about 13.5%. Eyes or shove. Yeah, so lesson to take from that is to shove a little tighter at 6 blinds from this position. Let's see how his range changes when he's at 5 blinds instead of 6, because I think that it will be quite a large difference. So, in the 6 big blind scenario, he is at 26%. And once I take 1 blind from him, he's doing 32%. So it's a 6% increase, but the ace deuce off, ace 3 off are still folds, which is something I must learn to do. Surprised to see the... well, it's not that simple because it doesn't take into account yeah, it doesn't take into account HRC does not know he will be in the big blind soon. Let's see if I can do future game simulation here. No, future game simulation does not make sense because it has ICM involved. So that's nonsense. So that's quite interesting, I think, in both scenarios. Given HRC does not account for the big blind coming soon, I believe this range, both those ranges, should be extended. I would shove something like that in this scenario. At 6 big blinds. I mean, there is really no time to wait, because once the blinds hit, default equity just goes way down. And the hands such as 6-5 suited, 5-4 suited, 9-7 suited, all those suited hands, they do well when they are about to see all 5 cards. That is, if called. Yeah, so I think, but I don't know how to confirm that. Something like a third of the deck is a third of the range is a third of all possible hands would be somewhat reasonable to jam in his spot. Then at the 5 blinds, I would let's go wild here and shove like 40% of the deck. Yeah, probably those two. I mean, anything suited really. There are just last bits of fold equity. And there's also the case that villains behind will simply not call it off properly. For example, me in the button. Yeah, I would call about this range, but players make mistakes, like the small blind. Or the MP3 will not necessarily call with the ace-9 off or the ISO shove. That is, or call with those hands. Just slightly. I think they will be slightly tighter. So, yeah, with all those in mind, I think this range should be extended. But again, I don't know how to prove that, how to take the big blind coming into account. Pocket sevens at 25 big blinds, early position, middle position I raise. There's a shove and another shove. Is this a bounty? No, it's not. This looks quite interesting. One thing that comes in mind is that if I call, that's a lot of stack that I risk, and the button villain shoving here's range is certainly not loose at all. He will not be gambling. So my first thought is something like 9s plus ace queen plus, but let's see. And this one takes a while to compute, so I will look at the last hand in the meantime before we get the results. 6 blinds, 10, 9. Well, I can't be possibly thinking of calling it off. This can't be good. Can it? No, I mean, that would be absurd. It may be in the big blind, but UTG, why am I even checking this? It is a fold, but I thought it would be much worse. I'm still probably, well, I'm looking at Nash here, so he will not just shove those hands. He will min raise them. Let's see how this affects my calling range. 12.8% goes into. Thing is that those stacks I need to gamble sooner or later. Yeah, so now 10-9 becomes almost break even, and I'm supposed to call off all the king 9, jack 10 suited plus, all these suited aces. Yeah, I am too tight when it comes to calling it off at the short stacks. It is time to gamble because there's nothing to wait for, really. Let's get back to the pocket sevens hand. Is this a call it off? Is it computed? No, I've closed the HRC. Alright, never mind. I won't keep you much longer on the video. I close it and do the calc later on. And I will also investigate the pocket king's bet size in p.2. So maybe that will be another video. Okay. See ya.